I Tom, I believe it's Tom Kerr. I don't know if Tom Kerr is here today, but I want to kind of cover. I know we have Tom Main here today, but Tom, I don't think you're the Tom from Oxford. So Tom has been a regular subscriber, audience member, and he threw us a bunch of questions. So the big topic is how much more expensive is it to live in Hawaii? And he sent a few other ones too, like this one. Are there cost of living websites out there that can give me monthly estimates for like electric or food, family of four? I haven't been able to find them. And then another one he had was, what about shipping a car? He had a whole bunch of questions about shipping a car. So Tom sent us a bunch of questions, and I just kind of want to hit the big topic. We've talked about this in a variety of ways. How much more expensive is it to live in Hawaii? So, I think there are some, Tom, there are some websites you can go to. The Islander Ohana, if you're a member of the Islander Ohana, Mark Lowe put together this insane spreadsheet that has like 5 tabs on it that will kind of give you like all kinds of crazy details. And I have it indexed on cost of living against other cities. But there are websites available. But, so let's kind of go counterclockwise from Heidi, Scott, and then Dylan. So Heidi, just on a general basis, what do you tell people, when you're talking to friends or family and they ask you the question, hey, how much more expensive is it to live in Hawaii? How do you respond, Heidi?
Well, first of all, I've never paid $9 for a loaf of bread. So I don't know where that was, but I didn't buy it. I mean, there are certainly some things in Hawaii that are more expensive. Food's a little more expensive, but I find it's really more about being thoughtful about what you buy. And I mean, it can vary considerably depending on if you're eating out all the time or you're making beans and rice or, what kind of thing that you like to cook. Prior to living on Maui, I lived in downtown Chicago. I had a ton of expenses there that I don't even have to deal with here. I had to pay for parking, taxis. I spent a lot more on entertainment going out. I mean, here on Maui, most of the entertainment is free, going to the beach or a state park or going paddleboarding. I mean, that's all free. I don't have to buy any winter clothes or snow boots, or I don't have to pay for heat. I mean, my place doesn't even have gas, so it's just air conditioning. And I don't know. I found overall, my lifestyle is more different, not necessarily more expensive. But I mean, there are certain things that are more expensive. It depends on the overall picture of what you're doing and also what your lifestyle is before you move to Maui. And also car insurance is less too. Car insurance, parking. I mean, a lot of things were less for me.
Yeah, well said, Heidi. I think I mean, Hawaii is more expensive. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's the counteracting lifestyle that really can potentially offset that. In fact, I had one of our you mentioned snow gear. One of our Islander Ohana members, Catherine, she's moving from Colorado as well, and she was. We had a cohort meeting last week, Friday, and she was having a garage sale and selling all her stuff, and she was holding up snowshoes. And I was thinking about, man, talk about like the most useless thing you could possibly move to Hawaii: snowshoes. I couldn't think of, there isn't anything more useless than snowshoes. Scott, how do you respond when people ask, when you have friends and family that are talking to you, hey, Hawaii is expensive. How isn't it really expensive? How do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, it is more expensive. To me, I look at it as, standard incomes here versus expenses, which are going to be your living expenses, housing, food, transportation, things such as that. The ratio is higher here typically than it is in other places, but it's not for everybody. It's not that way. And like Heidi said, your lifestyle changes when you come here. You do different things. You buy different things. From the basics, though, there are some things that cost more, but even the grocery shopping, I mean, you can still find good values and good deals. I always joke around when I travel to the mainland, I look at the Whole Foods bar that they charge. You get the food, the hot bar there, where it's like I think it's per pound. $7.99 per pound or something. And I always look when I go to San Diego and other places on the mainland, hey, what's the Whole Foods hot bar price per pound in other areas? And it's always like $1 less, a pound somewhere else. And so that's kind of a small indicator or whatever, jokingly.
That's actually a really good consumer price index kind of number. It's a combination of all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I don't feel it, and it's not because it's not like I make some disproportionate income to other people. I'm just more selective on what I do and what I do with my lifestyle. I'm more of an outdoors person to begin with, so most of the stuff I do is free. Like Heidi said, I go surf, swim, hike. None of that costs any money. I don't even have to pay for parking for it. Whereas in a lot of cities, everything you're going to do, you're paying for that. Your transportation costs are going to be more expensive in that situation.
Yeah, that's so well said. I mean, look, Hawaii is more expensive. I tell people it's twice as expensive. Just the rule of thumb, it's 2x. Our electricity is higher, obviously, and here we're all saying, well, it's not that. Yeah, $1 million median price. Okay, hello, it's way to hell more expensive.
But the housing is really skewed here. That's what costs you the most. I mean, my electric bill, I live in a condo. My electric bill is $125 a month. That's not outrageous. That's not over the top. I have all the same appliances that anybody else would. I paid part of that in a maintenance fee and common elements and stuff, but that's not an outrageous electric bill compared to
I don't know what I don't know how that would compare to a mainland electric bill, but you're probably using less electricity of that nature.
I don't run my AC all the time. It's
don't run your AC
natural air. Yeah. I get ventilated. I run it at night, but I don't run it all the time because we have moderate temperatures here.
Yeah, moderate temperatures. Yeah. We have a couple of comments were popping in. So first of all, thanks, Mark Lowe. This is the guy that folks that did the insane spreadsheet. Mark, thank you. He's a finance guy, and he knows good pineapples are less in Hawaii. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Let's see here. Cece gave us some advice 7 years ago. Pasha for vehicles. Pasha is one of the two or three companies that ship vehicles from the mainland. The other one is Matson and I believe Horizon, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's two or three. Pasha and Matson for sure do it. Spencer, congratulations. Bought a place in Kona last month, flying there next week, wondering how the pandemic has affected contractor and material availability. Dylan, contractor and material availability. It's not happening, right? It's lumber's crazy and contractors are all busy, right? What's going on?
Yep. Terrible time to build.
Nothing like the quick direct answer. Yeah. So hang in there, Spencer. I'm sure you'll find something. Joan, see, there you go. Mahalo for the great advice, Joan. The friends, you're hanging out with the Ohana, man. And they are helping each other out. And Vern, welcome back, Vern. How's it in Shakas, everyone? Mahalos for the great info. Why pay high prices for food when you could live off the land? Plenty fruits on the side of the road and spearmanini with a 3-prong. Yeah. Well, Vern, I guess, in different strokes for different folks. There was a joke. Actually, funny, Vern, that you say that. There was a joke I saw of one of these meme things that said, what could be better, spend, days and days laboring to grow a tomato that you can buy in the grocery store for $2.15. So yeah, it all depends. If you want to live off the land, it's certainly possible, I suppose, though not completely. And okay, Joyce says, Joyce had posted a bunch of links. You folks in Facebook have a look at that. Thank you, Joyce. Moneywise.com, worst states for retirement. And states Hawaii are fleeing. Hawaii isn't that bad when you look at other states and their situations. Thank you, Auntie Joyce, for that information. And Spencer, bam, loves the comment, Dylan. Okay, so let's see, where were we going here? We talked about this. We got the Skydie and Hot. Dylan, when people tell you, hey, how much more expensive is Hawaii? What's the response that you give to family and friends, mainland friends, your mainland buddies, etc., who ask you that?
So for me, this is less about data and analysis, and it's more maybe this is like a life coaching answer, right? But the thing to me that is important is we have like two major resources in life, right? We have time and we have money. And so if you're focused on the cost of something and the time doesn't matter as much, then you'll base decisions off of price and cost and things like that. But to me, we got one life to live. Every day that goes by is one less day that we have to live, and we don't know how many days are left, right? In my mind, if you're resourceful and hardworking, you can always make more money. Money is an unlimited resource. So if you prioritize time and your life enjoyment over money, then it doesn't matter. That's the answer. It doesn't matter how much it costs. If you'd rather live here than somewhere else and you'd be happier here, you'll figure it out. And that's what should be the focus, not what electricity costs or bread costs or any of that stuff. To me, it's irrelevant. I'd rather die broke and have lived here and my kids grow up here and live this lifestyle than die rich in some city where I was miserable for most of my life. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. So well said. You know, I had a similar kind of an experience long time ago, very, very long time ago. Heidi, I was in downtown Chicago, and I was going through. I was riding in the L. The L is their elevated rail that goes through the city. It's this big, noisy, old, clunky thing, and it was in the middle of winter, and it was freezing cold, and I was stuck in this thing, and I was like huddled. So I'm huddled in this. I'm huddled in, and I'm cold in this crowded thing going through the city. And the L's kind of cool because it takes you through like a pie slice of the city. And so you see the worst of the city, you see the best of the city, you see the slums, you see the new, you see everything. And suddenly it all kind of comes to me. And I'm like, why are we doing all this? Why do we get in the L? Why do we kind of slave through these things? Why do we go to work in the morning? And to me, one of the big things is, to your point, Dylan, is you do it to be happy, right? You do it to, you're in the pursuit of happiness. And then I had my sort of my really, really, really big, aha moment. And the aha moment was that in Hawaii, I'm happy. In Hawaii, I'm happy. And I could live in Chicago. I was born in Chicago. I could live in Chicago, make a lot more money, but I wouldn't be happy. And so it wouldn't matter. And the big aha was Hawaii for me was where my happy place is. And that made it really clear to me and really easy for me to understand that Hawaii was the place. And I was going to make it work no matter what, because that's where I was happy. So Dylan, thanks for your life coach.
I had one of those moments this weekend. So on
Really?
Sunday, we got up in the morning, did some housework, cleaned up the house and stuff. And my kids really wanted to go to the beach, but it was kind of an ugly day. It was kind of cloudy and looked like it was going to rain. But in Hawaii, it doesn't matter. You just still go to the beach, because if it rains, you just bring your umbrella, and instead of being under the umbrella for the sun, you're under the umbrella for the rain. And so went to the beach. It was still kind of cloudy and stuff, and definitely halfway through it started raining. Right, so we're at the beach and we're sitting there, and it's not raining hard, but it's drizzling. And I'm looking, and my kids are in the water, catching waves, just laughing their heads off, like having a great time. And I'm thinking, like, you couldn't do this anywhere else. It's 75 degrees. It's raining. We don't care. Like, I mean, the kids are having a great time, and where else can you do that, right? And so to me, it's one of those things where, like, those are one of those moments where it's like, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be able to do this, because if it's raining anywhere else, you stay indoors. You don't have anything to do. It's miserable. It's cold, and here you can go to the beach. So. And
yeah.
you know what they say about a bad day at the beach, right? It's still better than a great day at work. So.
Right. That's like the fishing thing. And hey, a big shout out to Corey. Corey, Peter, did you dip your nose in chocolate a bit ago? Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna wipe my nose off, because so what happens, Corey, is that I've got this coffee here, right? And I, of course, as I make my coffee, I have to fill it to the very, 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 very top, even above the edge. I got to get every little part of coffee, right? So what happens is, when I drink out of it, that, like, there's some coffee bits left. See, this is why we do this on YouTube and not on the morning news, right? So I'll dip it in, and it kind of gets my nose. So thank you, Corey. Thank you for letting me know about that. I was gonna post this video on YouTube to 10,000 subscribers. I think I'm gonna do it anyway. But I appreciate you, Corey, so much for letting me know about that. Excellent. Quick shout out, Dylan. I popped this on when you were talking about it. You nailed it. Go for the happiness and peace of mind. Life is too short. Life is like a beach, right? That's the other line, right, Dylan? The best is like the fishing line, right? The worst day fishing is better than the worst day fishing is better than the best day working, right? The worst day at the beach is better than the best day at the office. No doubt about it. Jim.